All right, another one is just you can see we've got, well, as you can hear, got the condenser fan running. Ooh, you heard that? That was just a compressor trying to fire. You heard that little hum? Okay, so you know what that means. First thing I'm going to do is check the capacitor, but let's verify that that's the only thing running, right? Let's check our amp drawer here, 6.62. That means only the condenser fan is running. Compressor's not. There's a compressor. So this right here is going to be our compressor, right? What we heard, the sound we heard just now is the lock rotor amps. Okay, so I'm going to check the capacitor real quick, see what we get. Okay, get your disconnect out. Voila, system off. And first thing I want to do, like I say, check our capacitor. Get our meter, pop that into capacitance, and let's take this one off of here. It's warm today, but in the shade it's gorgeous, man. Seriously, cannot beat this weather. It's in the 90s today. Let's see here. So fan is right. Let's see. What I'm gonna do, take the hermetic off here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab alligator clamp, pop that on there like such. Let's see what we're looking like. All right, so 38.2. That's plenty of capacitance. That's a 40. Yeah, 40. So you know what that means. So lock rotor usually is going to, this is a compressor at the end of the day, but lock rotor is usually not going to give you an electrical issue, i.e. you're not going to notice any type of short to ground, anything like that. But I mean, we could check it for the heck of it. It's like, why not, right? But you're not going to notice anything like windings, issues with the windings, or let's take this off, or shorts to ground or anything like that. Usually if there's any sort of winding issue, you're either going to have no sort of, it's not going to do anything. And we're going to see here right now, if it was like open winding, for instance, you would have no temperature at the compressor. It would be pretty much ambient conditions. If it was a shorted winding, shorted to ground, or essentially shorted to each other, meaning like the winding itself is shorted, the wraps are shorted, essentially shortening the path of the coil, then you would definitely have a trip breaker, or 9 times out of 10 you have a trip breaker. Any sort of short's going to give you a trip breaker. So this is going to be mechanical failure, meaning it's likely just something is caused it to seize up internally. Okay, so I think this is a scroll. Yeah, it's a scroll compressor. So we take our, damn it, our thermal imager's dead. Okay, so I keep this one right on my purse, and this is the Thermal Master P3. Sweet, because that'll tie right into your cell phone, boom, like such. And as soon as you go ahead and open it, it automatically opens up. Now what you're going to see, a pretty high temperature at the compressor. There it goes. Yep, standard 120 degrees. So she's been trying to fire up. She's been trying, but to no avail. Go ahead, and I love this thermal camera because you could see it actually. You can focus it, drive the focus perfectly clear. It's got some of the best resolution I've seen on a thermal imager. So yeah, our compressor is definitely overheating there. Not overheating, but it is hot. So you could tell it's trying to fire up. Look at all that. That thermal envelope. Damn, it looks good. Wow. See, we just saw a bird fly by on that thing. That's how good the frame rate is on this. Look at that, 140 degrees on the hoods of the cars. This is accurate. Okay, anyway. Okay. So let's quickly just, for kicks and giggles, even though it's not really necessary, we can check the windings. And yeah, this is just a quick little. So what we're gonna do, we got our hermetic, our start winding there. We're gonna grab our we're gonna grab our 2 terminals here, which is gonna be our common and start. And let's just put our meter into ohms, right? Meter in ohms. Across our, well, that was common and run, sorry. That's our start winding. So this is the start here, the yellow that goes on the, and then the run is going to be the red here, okay? So there you go, you got 3 ohms there, whatever. Let's go to our common and start. 2.5, told you you're not going to have any. Now let's go to our common and run. There you go. So that's that. 3.9. It all adds up. Windings are perfectly healthy. Now we could take this and go to our ground here. I'm just going to go here to the ground. You're not going to have any issues. OL. Okay. OL. And OL. So the compressor's just failed. It's a mechanical failure. And we could try a hard start. If you want to go ahead and do that, I could go ahead and try a hard start on it. See if that fires it up. Just for kicks and giggles, right? Let's go ahead and pop this back on here. I'm going to go grab a hard start. It's always worth the shot, just because it could basically, you know, kind of breathe new life into the compressor, I guess. Give it a second chance. So let me go ahead and do that. Get this thing rocking. Alright, so I love these here. This is the one that we use here. Just the 521 Compressor Saver. Pretty cool name for it. Look how simple that is. Right there on the label, it shows you just the wiring diagram essentially. Black goes to your common. We just talked about that. Start is the stripe, which is the capacitor. Red is your run, which is the other side of the contact of the other side of the common. Now, with using these, there's no point. If you have a shorted system, if you have anything going on with an electrical short, like we just discussed, whether it be the internal coil, the winding coils, or short to ground, this isn't going to do you any good. This is only for a locked rotor condition, meaning that rotor, the compressor scroll is just not turning and starting up due to whatever it could be. I mean, there's lots of issues. It could be something mechanical going on with the compressor. It could just be the windings essentially, the resistance on the winding getting low, just the winding becoming degraded. So what we're going to do, we got our start. We're going to pop the stripe one here, right on where the capacitor, the hermetic of the capacitor, right? Boom. We're going to take our, look at that, this one's already color coded for us. Look at that, red to red, that's run. Black to common. Okay. Now what I do is I just go ahead and I'll wire this up, and I'm not gonna just basically be careful. I'm just gonna do that like that for now. It's not touching any copper, it's not touching any low voltage. As you can see, we're just kind of letting it hang just in case it doesn't work. No point of screwing everything up if it doesn't fire, you know what I mean? Okay, it's not gonna jerk anything. Okay, probably not going to work. 9 times out of 10 these don't work. Ooh, you heard that? Nice, it tried, but it failed. You know what I should have done? Let me see if I could do this. I'm going to see if I can capture our lock rotor amp, see if it does it. Our inrush current. So we're going to hold there. we're gonna hit here for inrush. Let's pop that back on right there. Let's see if this does it again. I mean, that thing hit hard as crap. Nah, she didn't do it again. Darn it. Well, that's that. It's done with. The compressor's shoddy. If this didn't do it, then nothing's going to do it. If the hard start didn't do it, she's out of commission. You heard it. I wish I would have probably measured that. I'm sure as hard as that thing hit, the inrush probably was off the charts. Probably wasn't even measurable. Probably was OL. Okay. Well, that's that. All right. So we're going to hit the next call. Let them know their compressor shot. And that's it, man. Like, let me know what you think in the comments below and feedback. Let me know what you think about these here, man. If you guys use these, the 521s, these are really cool, really powerful. Like I said, they got the schematic right on the back. Makes it super easy. After a while, I mean, you wire 2 or 3 of these things, it's like you don't even need the schematic anymore. But they're super, super nice. Way better than those turbos. The turbos, they don't have the proper this type of relay. I forgot the name of this relay, but they use more like a temperature modulated disconnect, and I hear those things fail all the time just due to the fact that sometimes the relay uses like some sort of a thermal disc to pull the relay out of the circuit, and it's not as reliable as these relay here. So these are pretty good. Not good enough to save this thing today though. So, all right, man. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.